That wheel's turning and no connection there. Why not? Wow. Well, holy crap. Yep, 100% confirmed. Differential. She's done. Well, I am back in action here at the shop. Got a 1486 that did not move at all. It kind of like seemed to want to try to move a little bit, but didn't. Pop the clutch inspection cover off. Of course, seeing nothing in there. Never usually do. What else? Tested the TA pressures. The TA pressures were good. Popped the transmission brake cover off. I actually ran it in gear and the bottom counter shaft was spinning. So that tells me the TA was connected to the bottom counter shaft. Oh, it did not have park. Park did not work. So right away, figured it was in the range, but I drained the oil and I seen a bunch of brass stuff in there. That's when I did my TA inspection work, because I thought it could be one of the parts in the TA. Anyway, I got my seat up, ready to pop my range cover off. Got my tool here for my reverse shaft. If you've ever popped one of these covers off, I'm sure you know how that works. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're thinking the speed transmission isn't getting full connection with the range. And with park not working, not too sure. Shafts in the rear end aren't spinning, though. If you're thinking it could be my upper speed shaft gear, it definitely, in fact, is not. Because when I have the clutch pedal out and I pull it into a speed gear, first or second or third or fourth, it does try to engage and grind. So I believe the speed transmission should be healthy. Pressures are good. Even though I seen that brass flakes in there, that's kind of concerning. But at this point, that is not the main cause of our issue. I'm gonna kind of work at taking this out. I haven't had that great of a day. Not that great of a day. I don't know if you guys know a Don McLaren. We met on Facebook, and we are not Facebook friends. I'll just say that much. He's to blame for my day, partially. He didn't help. That was yesterday. Yesterday wasn't a good day either. Yesterday I went, or the day before yesterday, I met Don. We'll call him Don McLaren. And Don, if you're watching this, I'm not sorry for saying what I'm about to say, but I met Don McLaren, and I bought a rebuilt 4L60 transmission from him to put in my Chevrolet Suburban. I bought a Chevrolet Suburban for $400 out in North Dakota. It was supposed to be a sweet deal. Turns out it was not a sweet deal. But so that was another day that I had. That wasn't a good day either. But yeah, put a bunch of brake lines in the Suburban and gas fuel lines. So then the transmission went out. So then I kind of was invested into it and decided I'd put a transmission in it. Funny thing about the brake lines is I blew every brake line on that Suburban when I was coming down a mountain. Survived it though, so that was good. Suburban out there isn't faring too well. The Suburban blew all the brake lines plus 1 or 2. I think I made like 7 junctions to make the brakes work, and they're all cobbled.
We found a big Boone and Crockett bear.
Found a big bear. The bear spotted here. Looks really big. He's huge. Transmission doesn't have first or fourth gear in the Suburban. Woke up this morning, started it to go into town to get brake fluid, and the light came on and said check fluid. So I pulled out the dipstick in the engine, and there was no oil on the dipstick. But that is the least of my concerns right now. The brakes I think are going to be okay. Driving.
We got to the gas station at 8:30 this morning. We left at 4 p.m. And by 7 p.m.
we were working on this.
We were on top of the mountain to glass very quickly for our big bear.
And to test our brakes 4,000 feet down. And it worked. So here's a bear hunting trip so far. Been spending all day doing handyman work, putting in brake lines. The junk, they just kept leaking. Had to put all new lines up there. And then you'll see more of my handyman work right here. That's just kind of sitting there. We got a junction there, got a junction there. Napa only had so much 5/16 brake line. What a joke. Not sure how long it'll last, but we might get up the mountain. What do you think? Anyway, I went and bought this rebuilt transmission from Don McLaren, or whatever his name is. I get it home, and I take the pan off of my freshly rebuilt transmission, and there's black sludge in it. Alright, I got this new rebuilt transmission here. Looking at the back side, those are all metal shavings. Inside of here is very dirty. I'm just rubbing my hand on the back side there. It's like dust and grime. Not what I wanted to see. Alright, so I pulled the pan off of this transmission. Here's what's in the pan. That's just a bunch of sludge and a bunch of old transmission fluid came out. That transmission fluid is supposed to be dark maroon red, and that was just black. And here's the magnet. And I mean, it's just sludge. It has a new gasket on it, but this is not a rebuilt transmission at all. And then the weirdest thing happened. I texted Don McLaren, and he never texted me back. But anyway, yesterday I phoned Don McLaren, and I did get my money back. And then I went and got a different rebuilt transmission, and put it in my Suburban, because my Suburban originally didn't have first gear or overdrive. But I put a rebuilt transmission in it, and took my time, made sure everything was really good, and I still don't have first or overdrive, so that sucks. So what you want to do with these covers, these 86s, is not just rip them off, unless you're not planning on putting everything back together. Because what you'll do is you'll pull that shaft up with the cover, and when you do that, you're going to pull it out of your reverse gears, and then there's a little keyway, you can't get them back in. And actually, I grabbed the wrong tool. That's the tool you want to put it back, or put the cover back on. I don't know what I was thinking. Probably something about my transmission, but I'll get the correct tool now. Here's the tool. Back it all the way off. And what's going to happen is I'm going to clamp this part, that little nubbin, the nubbin on the cover, I'm going to clamp it down like so, and now I'm going to push that shaft through the cover while jiggling and wiggling the cover. I got everything pretty clean. Depends on who you ask, really, but I have a feeling we're going to be doing some pretty serious work to this machine. And underneath this cover should reveal our connection issue that we have going on with our gears. Did I say that I had to drive around for 10 hours trying to find Don? Then I had to wait for him for 3 hours for him to appear. But I had to drive 10 hours to fucking get a transmission, and the transmission wasn't even my problem. You know what I mean? Now what my problem is there's a gremlin that lives somewhere. Whoop, whatever that was, I don't know. There's a gremlin that's living somewhere in my Suburban that's causing all the problems. Well, hello. Look at that. That'd be why park doesn't work. Well, no. I think he just fell off. Oh, that was my pin that fell. Got it. All that is okay. All that looks okay too. Oh. Lost my spring. Not my fault. So that should have been selecting a gear for me, even though the detent obviously isn't working. So now what? Now what do I do? I'm halfway tempted to fire up the tractor in first gear, and I want to see what's happening back here. I almost wonder if my collar here all the gears look good. Kind of, or good enough. Good enough to pull. I suppose I should retrieve my stuff first. So yeah, if you pull that shaft out with the top cover, you're screwed. That's all I'll say. Definitely screwed. Unless you have a 986, so then you're not as screwed if you want to have that tank there. Well, son of a gun. Alright, so there's neutral. We're going to put it in whatever that is. Low or high. Am I in reverse? Should not be in reverse. I'm gonna make sure. Let's see, reverse is back. So when I'm pulling that back, that's all effed up. I think we're good. Okay, I'm gonna fire up the tractor and see if it moves here. And you know, like they say, don't try this at home. But I suppose if you're in your shop, you could, you know. Okay. Oh, we have a park lock safety switch. Oh, what do we got in here? Sure, that'll work. Made that to test a sentry system, and that turned into a complete disaster. All right, park bypassed. We got oil oozing out the bottom. Yeah. Oh, everything here is turning. That can only mean one thing. That I don't think that's the problem. Now I'm going to take that third link off and see what the hell is going on. So yeah, we started at the speed at the clutch, moved to the speed. The range is good. Something is not okay back there. That'd be why the park wasn't working, right? That'd be my hunch. So, fired it up with the cover off here, and the differential gear is turning. I know you guys didn't see that, but I did. And that's okay, I'll just narrate this portion of the story. But, yeah, I think we got a flaw in one of our bull pinions. Gonna jack it up. Those aren't heavy. Gonna jack it up and try to determine which side it is, and then pop a brake cover off and go from there. Not sure who was working at the sawmill that day, but I wish they could pull it together down there. It might be a little wobbly. Wheels are jacked off the ground. I'm turning this wheel. Turn that wheel.
Yes, sir.
Differential's turning. Turn the other wheel.
Yes, sir.
That wheel's turning, and no connection there. Got a failure to communicate. So this side is the culprit. Don't have a lot of room there. Houston, we have a problem. I think it's a good problem. It has potential for a good problem. That'd be where the loud bang came from. 100% guaranteed. Yeah, because if it was the differential cross in there was broken, when I turned both wheels, nothing would happen. But surely, in fact, okay, well, it's kind of apparent the differential could have the potential of being totally effed. What's the worst that could happen, right? Oh no. Probably nothing too severe. Wow. Wow. Yeesh. Yeesh. Wow. It. Well, holy crap. Yep, 100% confirmed. Differential. She's done. Cashed out, as some would say. Yep, that bearing's supposed to ride right around in this vicinity. Since it's broke, it no longer can do that. Yeah. Yeah, as they say, that's how she goes. Guaranteed you could reuse that. I would guarantee you. Yep. A little bit of bad action going on there on that race. Yeah. Okay, now where do we go from here? Well, oh boy. Yeah. Where do we go from here? Well,